So what we have here is we have a graph, and we want to do some analysis of this graph. So what's the first question we're asking? As x goes to infinity, f of x goes to what? So as x gets very large, what is the function doing? What are the y values doing? Well, as x gets large, 8, 9, 10, 11, what's happening to my y values? The y values are growing increasingly closer and closer to what number? Increasingly closer to -2. So as x goes to infinity, assuming this trend continues, as x goes to infinity, f of x goes to -2. The next question asks us, what happens as x approaches -infinity? Let's take a look. As x becomes -7, -8, -9, -10, -11, what are the y values getting closer and closer to? Now they've jumped across the asymptote, but they appear to be getting closer and closer to this horizontal asymptote again, which is still -2. So that's a way for us to consider the behavior of the horizontal asymptote. As x approaches infinity, as x approaches -infinity, if we have a horizontal asymptote, they should be approaching the same numbers. Now, our next example has limit as x approaches -1 with a little negative sign up here. That means from the left side. This means x approaches -1 from the left. This means x approaches -1 from the right. This will be very important for us in calculus to understand that notation. So here's a chance to look at it first. X is approaching -1 from the left. From the left, to the left of -1. This is to the left of -1. What are my y values doing? To the left of -1, my y values are going down, going down, going down, going down, going down. To the left of -1, the y values are approaching -infinity. As x approaches -1 from the left, the function is heading towards -infinity. Now, how about if I approach -1 from the right? So numbers to the right get close to -1 from the right. What's happening to the y values? Again, going down, going down, going down. Assuming this continues, they are going to -infinity as well. From the left, it's approaching -infinity. From the right, it's approaching -infinity. And then our last couple questions here, as x approaches 3 from the left, what is f of x approaching? X approaches 3 from the left. 3 is here from the left. What's happening? Approaching 3 from the left. It's growing up. So that's heading towards +infinity. Put the positive there just for emphasis, although of course that's not required. As I approach 3 from the right, what are the y values doing? What is f of x doing? As I approach 3 from the right, the functions are heading down now. The y values are going increasingly more negative. That would be heading towards -infinity. So these are going to be ideas, again, that we're going to use in calculus to get a feel for how they work. So the asymptotes give us a lot of the information that we need to make sense of the behavior of the function.